I'm composer Hee Yun Kim, based in Dallas, Texas, originally from South Korea. Memo of Donghak draws inspiration from the beloved Korean folk song, Birds, Birds, Bluebirds, whose melody is played in the closing section of the composition. So this can be viewed as a reversed variation of a free form. This simple but evocative three-pitch tune is related to Donghak pageant revolution of 1894. It's a grassroots movement for social reform in Korea. Although this revolution didn't succeed, but it left behind a poignant legacy, a melody born anonymously from the collective yearning for better future. It's kind of a sweet and bittersweet blend of sadness and hope. I cherish this song as it brings back faint memories of my grandmother softly singing it to me during my early childhood. I believe my musical characteristics is expressive. I love to express myself through music. Right now, I'm writing a piece for wind ensemble and piano. It's like a piano concerto titled "Here You Are." It's a reminiscence of my teenage time. I want to express myself, and also I'm very interested in expressing our time and our place. There is another piece, Rest in Peace, RIP 2020. It's about the pandemic and all those unexpected tragedies in 2020. And it was the title piece of my recent album, Voyage Within. It's very meaningful to me because it has my older pieces and new pieces.
Okay.
I have a long hiatus from composing. In 2010, I moved to Texas with my husband's new job, and I didn't compose for a long time as a stay-at-home mom. And during the pandemic, I returned to composing. So in this album, there is my pieces before 2010, and then the other half after 2020. So it's very interesting to see, how I changed and also what's still in the same track. I think I'm more easygoing. Before, I was very self-critical, and after a long hiatus, I realized that I just want to be myself, you know. It can be good or bad, it doesn't matter. I just want to express myself as I am. So I'm more enjoying composing. Recently it's more like flow of expressing rather than constantly like poking myself. Musical style wise, a lot is the same. I love timbre richness.
Mm.
And making stories in the pieces. I'm trying not to criticize myself, Yeah. So it's easier. It was more easier process, and I'm more prolific these days. I utilized this three-pitch tune. It's very simple, but I tried to extract most of the musical materials from this simple song. It was somewhat challenging, but it also has a lot of potential to transform things. For example, this song is using a folk song. It's simple three-pitch tune, so it was kind of challenging. Make something out of it, something innovative. But I also realized that it has a lot of potential because it's simple. You can transform it to a lot of different things. For example, the song is based on perfect fourth in Western intervals. So I used perfect fourth juxtaposed of another perfect fourth in minor second, and I used it as important harmonic chords. All of them. I love to explore different ensembles, different instruments, different types of music. I'm still exploring. I'm very curious. I love all sorts of music. Jazz is my soul music, as well as classical music. I love Korean traditional music, folk tradition, and classical tradition. Also, the Indian traditional music and Tibetan chant music. A lot. I like pop music too. And it's funny that I thought I love all sorts of music, but I found that I don't like techno that much. And my daughter's favorite is techno, ironically. So sometimes in a long driving, we had some sort of negotiation, halfway my favorites and halfway her favorites. These days, who likes only one genre of music, right? I'm okay to express whatever I have. And it was funny. A couple of years ago, I have a piece called Scattered Minds for string quartet. And it was inspired by the same title book, Scattered Minds, about the ADD. I believe I have some tracks of it. So I decided what is going to happen if I just follow the flow of my musical sensitivity at the moment of composing. No judgment. Just do it, whatever comes. And guess what was in the music? Waltz. Some parts of music was waltz, and I was very surprised. And it was just so much fun. Yes, when I don't judge and then just follow whatever comes to me, like streams of subconsciousness, something comes up that I very unexpectedly something comes up. That was a good, experiment for me, and I want to do it again. As a little kid, I remember I was making some songs, and I composed for guitar and piano. Music was my closest companion and a favorite pastime. My parents were often busy, and I was alone at home until my brother comes back. So I've been just playing and making something. It's just such a good friend. It was not easy. A lot of crying. First, it was hard to get back to composing. I saw the, empty music notes, and I don't know what to do. I forgot everything. I felt really desperate. So it took like 1 year to get back to composing, just overcoming the frustration. Eventually came back. And the second challenge was I was not in the field for a long time. And it was even harder to get into the field. Mm-hmm. So I remember one day I really collapsed and then crying hours and hours. And I stopped composing. I told my husband, I'm not compose anymore. Nobody plays it. Nobody listens to it. And there's why do I need to compose? And I was just so hurt. And my husband was trying to, comfort me, and then said like, oh, some composers get famous after they die, and he didn't help. And I got even more furious. And so actually, I stopped composing about a year. And then one day, it just came back to me like I was looking for some new hobby, and maybe I can just compose as a hobby for myself. And it started. That was 2019, and from the pandemic 2020, I could compose a lot. And here I am. If it's composition students, I'll try to explain about the compositional process in this piece, how I use the folk song into a more complicated quintet, also the story behind it. In this piece, I try to harmonize Korean traditional folk music, folk traditions, and also classical traditions. And so that process, I can also talk about the Korean traditional rhythmic patterns, 장단. It has a lot of different patterns. How I use these patterns, incorporate these patterns into the piece. A lot to say. As I mentioned earlier, I moved to Texas in 2010, and this piece was published by Navona Records in 2010 with the ensemble Galliope's the live performance. After that, I was a stay-home mom. I didn't compose for a long time, and I returned to composing in 2020 in Dallas, Texas, my new hometown. And I wanted to reintroduce my representative older piece, I believe, and share it with my community in Texas. It is called Here You Are, a piece for piano and a wind ensemble. It's a fun piece. It's a reminiscence of my teenage time. It's kind of a moody and sometimes silly, but it's a lot of a fun piece. And I'm enjoying it. There are some jazz too. A swing, and also it's tonal music. It's very
Okay.
unusual in my music.
That's
I
fun.
wanted to express my sensitivity back then. I'm organizing a concert called Sonic Quilt of Metroplex to introduce amazing composers in Dallas, Fort Worth, the greater Dallas area. It'll be fun concert. It will take place at the Latino Cultural Center in Dallas on August 24th at 7:30, and it's a free concert supported by the City of Dallas Office of Arts and Culture. If you are free and if you are around Dallas, please join us.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this interview and want to see more like it, check out the 30 by 30 by 30 playlist on our channel. For more information about the 30 by 30 by 30 project, check out the website linked to the right.